Previously, we studied rational functions and we said that it is the quotient of two polynomials such that the denominator can never be zero. The denominator can never be zero because dividing by zero is an undefined value. Now we are going to study the domain and range of rational function. First, of what is meant by domain. The domain is all real values except the zeros of the denominator. What is the range of a rational function? The range of a rational function is the domain of its inverse function. In other words, the range of any rational function is the all real numbers except the zeros of the denominator of its inverse function. For example, what is the domain and range of this function? To find the domain of a rational function, we set the denominator equal to 0 and solve it to find these excluded points. Solving x plus 3 equal to 0 gives us x equals -3. So, -3 is an excluded value. The domain is all real numbers except -3. This can be written mathematically like this. D equals x belongs to R such that x doesn't equal to -3. What is the range of this function? To find the range, we first replace f of x with y and solve it for x. How do we solve this equation? To solve this equation, we rewrite y to be y over 1 and then equate the product of the means to the product of the extremes. Multiplying y by x plus 3 gives us x y plus 3y. The product of x plus 2 and 1 is x plus 2. To solve this equation for x, we get all x terms on one side. So, we subtract x from both sides and subtract 3y also from both sides. This gives us xy minus x equals -3y plus 2. Factoring out x from this sides gives us x times y minus 1 is equal to -3y plus 2. Dividing both sides by y minus 1 gives us -3y plus 2 all over y minus 1. Now the range is all real numbers except the zeros of the denominator. Setting y minus 1 equal to 0 gives us that y equals 1 is the excluded value. So, the range is all real numbers except 1, and this can be written mathematically as y belong to R, provided y doesn't equal to 1. To sum up, the domain of a rational function is all real numbers except zeros of the denominator. The range is the domain of the function inverse. Graphically, the domain and range are just a description of the location of the graph of a function.